A couple years ago, I produced a video called Best Free Career Aptitude Test 2020 Review. And in that video, what I did is I reviewed 3 career aptitude tests that I found were some of the best ones that were available to help people who are not sure what type of job they're looking for, or maybe trying to determine what their next big career move should be. Well, it's time for an update. So in this video, what I'm going to do is take a look back at those 3 career aptitude tests and see if they're still among the best. But I'm also going to tell you about a 4th one that I think is really good at helping you narrow down your career choices. And that, my friends, that review, that is up next right here on Over 50 TV. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, before the break, I said in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an update on 3 career aptitude tests that I reviewed a couple years ago. But I'm also going to be telling you about a 4th test, a 4th one that I think is really, really good at helping you narrow down your job choices. Before I do that, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to Over 50 TV, but I'm also going to say this. If your next big career move is starting a business, or maybe you want to start a side hustle because you want to make some extra cash, well, then you're going to want to subscribe to my new YouTube channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. Now, I launched this channel to let you know that no matter how old you are, you still have plenty of options. As a matter of fact, I think the older you get, the more options you have because you've got more experience that you can monetize. Anyways, if you would, consider subscribing to Side Hustle Rules, and you can do that just by clicking on the link in the description box. The 4 career aptitude tests that I'm going to be reviewing in this video, yeah, they can help you to narrow down your career choices and even choose a career that's compatible with your interests, your skills, and your personality. And the 4 are: number 1, the O-Net Interest Profiler; number 2, the 1-2-3 test; number 3, the Princeton Review Career Quiz; and then number 4, the last one I'll be reviewing, is Career Fitter. Now, each one of these tests, yes, they are free and they're fairly easy to use. They offer good general information that I believe is helpful when you're deciding your next career path. And they also each one suggests specific fields that offer good opportunity for growth. Now, I've got no problem at all recommending any one of these 4, although I'm going to say that Career Fitter is by far the best of the bunch, even if you don't buy their premium package. The O-Net Interest Profiler, for you data geeks out there, this one may be for you because it gives you a lot of information. What you're going to do when you take this test, you're going to find out what your interests are, but you're also going to find out how those interests align with specific careers that are hot in the job market. Now, this test, it was developed by the National Center for O-Net Development. It was developed under the sponsorship of the U.S. Department of Labor and Employment and Training Administration. Now, the O-Net Interest Profiler, I'm going to tell you, it was my least favorite career aptitude test. But I'm going to say, out of 4 of the best, this was my least favorite of 4 of the best, so please keep that in mind. But it was my least favorite because I didn't agree with the conclusions about my interest and also my career options, but it is thorough. Now, I'm going to put it up on the screen here so you can get a good look at it, but I do recommend that if you're thinking about your career options, this is a test, and it's a free test that you should give some consideration to. I'll put a link to this test in the description box. Now, I want to say one more thing about this test. It's a little bit more complicated than I think it needs to be, but again, I'm going to say it's fairly thorough. Next up is 123test.com. I reviewed this one last year. We reviewed it again this year. I thought it was a great test. You know, when you land on the 123test.com site, it just says plainly, will help you find out what professions fit your personality. And yes, that's so important. And it says, take this free test online right now at 123test.com and work on your career. And that's what we're here for. But the design and the graphics on this site, yeah, you know what? They make it easy to navigate. And I didn't feel overwhelmed or intimidated by this test whatsoever. I thought the format was kind of fun. It made answering the questions kind of fun. But you know, after I took the test, I didn't agree with the conclusions. They were, in my opinion, they were out out of whack with my interests and they didn't gain, or I should say, I didn't gain any new insights into my career. But I suggest taking this test yourself. You may find it a good test for you. After all, it's free. There's no cost whatsoever with this test. I'm going to put a link to this test in the description box. When I did my best free career aptitude test review back in 2020, I voted this test, the Princeton Review Career Quiz, I voted it my favorite career aptitude test. And I did that because, quite frankly, I thought it was the best of the tests that I thought were worth looking at after all the research I'd done. So let me tell you about this test, about the Princeton test. Number one, it was easy to take. It was easy to use. Number two, the questions were extremely thoughtful. But I got to say this, I was disappointed because when I finished the test, the algorithm, it concluded that I was a good candidate for well over a dozen different career fields. And I thought if that algorithm is unable to pin down the career that's best for me, well, then everything is really just a guess. But I want to say this about this particular test. Number one, I really got to say I really appreciated the detail and the explanation that they gave me on every job that they did tell me that I was qualified for. I also expected, or I should say appreciated, that they projected future growth for each position. I like that because one thing I want to make sure that I do if I'm going to be studying or working on a career, I want to make sure it's not an obsolete career in a few years. Now, they also talked about something that could be important to maybe you or some other people. They talked about the quality of life, and they said how the quality of life, if you do this career, how your quality of life will be impacted. What I'll do so you can check it out yourself is I'll put a link like I've done on the other two. I'll put a link to this particular test in the description box. Number 4 on our list is Career Fitter, but I do want to say, Career Fitter, you're actually number 1 with me. I know you're not new, or Career Fitter's not new to the world of career aptitude tests, but this test, it was new to me. I took their test. It was comprised of about 60 questions, and then after I got done, I got this thing called a full work personality report. And when I read this report, I was actually surprised, very surprised at their conclusions because they were beyond accurate. Certainly better than anything else I've seen on these other career aptitude tests. And I kept thinking this test, it's free. They're not charging me for this. But you know what? The Career Fitter report, it starts out by just saying your work personality strengths are, then the way they described me was really scary accurate. It was so right on. And then the test suggested my what they say are my optimal work environment, which once again was right on. It told me where I needed to be or the kind of environment I should be in. Under the heading that they have this thing called your income potential, it said this. It said your income potential is very excellent. It says one of the careers that matched your work personality paid $142,000 a year in the U.S. And I'm thinking, of course, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, well, they're just trying to get me to buy their premium package, which costs $19.95, which by the way, they say is 50% off the regular price of $39.95. Now, normally I would dismiss this as a clever way for Career Fitter to dip into my pockets and take out $20. But in this case, in the case of Career Fitter, what they did already, they built up some street cred with me because the quality of the questions and how accurate the conclusions were. You know what? It just said to me, hey, these guys know what they're doing. Now, another thing that I do want to mention, I want to make sure that I'm really clear. I am going to recommend this to my clients. And I have actually contacted Career Fitter after I read this report, after I saw what they did, or what they do rather, and I decided, I'm going to become an affiliate with this organization. So think what you may, but take this test before you say, hey, Lou is an affiliate, so of course he's going to recommend this. No, that's not true. I've been at this for 3 years, never done this once. Check out the test before you say anything, but I think you're going to find this is a great test. Well, there you go, folks. I've just given you my 2022 review of what I consider to be some of the best career aptitude tests that are out there right now. And I should say some of the best free career aptitude tests that are out there right now. I mentioned the last one has a premium level that you pay for if you want to dig deeper, go deeper into your career. And again, I'm going to tell you, that's up to you completely. I think just at the free level, it gives you so much good and valuable information. I think that it is a test that you can really have some confidence in. But I do have confidence in the other three, as I've mentioned to you already. I mean, I'm a geek. I'm a data geek, so I love that number one. But as I mentioned, take the test, make the decision on your own. I've given you my review. It's a follow-up from my review I did a couple years ago. So let me just say two more things, and then I will let you go. Number one, consider subscribing to Over 50 TV. And number two, if your next big career move is starting a business or a side business because you want to make some extra cash, well, consider subscribing to my new YouTube channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. I created this channel, basically, as I said in the very beginning of this video, I created it because I want to make sure that you understand that you know you do have career options. Well, that's all I got for you. Thanks for listening to me, and I look forward to meeting you again.